We are back with another watch along. This time it is the Lakers without LeBron James at Milwaukee. Let's pick it up in the fourth quarter, where this has been a one-sided game for the most part. The Lakers were pounced on to start the game, 26-8 run by the Bucks. They could not get the offense in gear without LeBron James. Meanwhile, it's been pretty fluid for Milwaukee. There's Dame Lillard with an elbow pull-up to give them a 94-75 lead here. Really great back and forth from Anthony Davis and Giannis for this game. Giannis on the bench right now. And now let's see what LA can do. D'Angelo Russell, signs of life with the floater. With Giannis off, Bobby Portis is the biggest buck, and you see he doesn't get inside position on Davis. So AD gets that putback to cut it to 15. But it still just feels like Milwaukee's in charge with Giannis taking a rest here. Lillard misses the fade over the AD contest. And D'Angelo Russell, and of course he is a streaky shooter, and he cuts us to 12, and Milwaukee needs a timeout. And right out of the timeout, they go to Giannis in the post against AD, and he steps out of bounds for a turnover. And this is just a great matchup. Every time these guys get together, I feel like it's fireworks because of the physicality between them. Good hands from Chris Middleton. The Bucks are double big right now. So Giannis is out on Taurean Prince. Lopez is the one who makes the nice rotation there at the rim. And then Antetokounmpo out in transition. He kind of got stuck. Taurean Prince, the key, getting his hand on the ball, slowing down Giannis, and he's expecting a player in the corner there. Slight miscommunication. It's a 12-point game, 6 minutes to play. They're going to go to this high pick and roll, and AD gets a nice little floater. And this is the issue because Brook Lopez wants to be in a deeper drop. He's less mobile than Giannis, so he's matched up with AD here, gets that little cushion in the middle of the paint. That's the shot the Bucks are going to concede in that action, but it's also one of Davis's favorite sort of short mid-range floaters. So now it's a 10-point game. And that's just a fantastic pass by Chris Middleton. And Giannis, he's had another monster game. He's just been on an incredible tear this season, especially offensively. Gets Davis to commit slightly. It's small ball, so now there's no other big players. And you can see Taurean Prince is the second biggest Laker out there. And Chris Middleton might be bigger than him, and he's the third biggest Buck. Huge three from Davis, who's not much of a three-point shooter anymore. Never was, but he's stopped taking them in many situations. He's dipped under 30%. But a timely one, as he's kind of hobbling around. He played huge minutes in the first half. He's played a lot in the second half. And the lead has slipped to 9 here. Reeves with an isolation. And no one provides help from the weak side. Lillard is the low man. He traditionally does it, but Giannis is much bigger and better, and he's just late reacting to that drive. Too much quickness from Austin Reeves in open space. And now you start to get that sense of like, wait a second, this is not going to be one of those blowouts. The Lakers are causing issues. Oh, huge charge taken from Austin Reeves. He tried to take at least one of these in the first half. It wasn't successful. That time I think he's there earlier. That's really all he can do against Giannis. Giannis had 7 turnovers in this game, by the way. And there's another defensive breakdown for Milwaukee. It's a basic screen away from Davis to get Reeves coming off the action. Again, Brook Lopez sort of flat-footed. Giannis never reacts off the corner. No one reacts. And all of a sudden, we are down to 5. And interestingly, the Lakers are going to take another timeout here to kind of get some rest and buy some time for Anthony Davis. They work on that knee quad area. And out of the timeout, they go to that Dame Lillard Giannis action that so many people are interested to see how it looks in the playoffs. They're running it more. Pretty clean look for Lillard. He just airmailed that one. Lakers just looking for a lot of guard actions because they have a lot of guards on the court, trying to create some space, go screens out of the pick and roll, stuff like that. You see Davis is just kind of hobbling the little two-man with Giannis, and then immediately draws two defenders because Prince is slow to recover. Extra pass. Another great shot from Milwaukee going early here. And we're back to 10. The Bucks should be feeling good. So they pick on Dame Lillard that time because of his size, isolating the guards. They get free throws. Russell is a very good free throw shooter. He makes both. Giannis into Davis. Hook shot is no good. And AD makes such a difference on Giannis compared to other players. So in the first half, there was this sequence where Giannis gets the ball out in transition, where he's incredibly dangerous, scores on one of the smaller Lakers. Gets the ball a second time, goes down, scores on someone else again. Then he comes down and has to face Davis in transition, and Davis somehow gets his hand on the ball at the last second to strip it, force a turnover. It is a completely different animal with his length, his size, his strength, and physicality. Giannis did bully him to start the game on a couple drives because, Giannis is Giannis. But I'm not sure anyone can stand up to what Antetokounmpo brings in terms of his physical will to get to the basket, quite like Davis. The angles, the size, it really bothers him and is a game changer. And we might come back to that as we come back to action in the fourth quarter. This time Middleton. Reeves again holds his own against a bigger, sort of more bruising kind of offensive player who likes those post-ups. Davis is feeling it. A second timely three from Anthony Davis. I'm telling you, these guys always deliver when they match up with each other, at least in Los Angeles. This goes back. There was a great game in 2020 at Staples Center. And there's Davis's length, almost forcing another turnover on the contest. They went back to the two-man Lillard-Giannis action. Middleton shoots over him. Oh, is the third time the charm? Probably should have run to the rim there instead of the three-point line. I think that was a mistake tactically from AD. You had like a 4-on-2 or something, plenty of shooters on the outside. You can see he's just sticking with Giannis here. Tons of space for Middleton, again with this ISO. That's a tough 20-foot step back. So Milwaukee's half-court shots in the last, 5 minutes of this game have not been very good. And, oh, my goodness. Austin Reeves cuts it to 2. And this is basically the closest the Lakers have been the entire game. They go back to the Lillard-Giannis pick and roll. You see Davis up near the level. Reeves does an okay job. It's a pretty good look from Dame. And this defense is way too easy to attack. They put Brook Lopez in the pick and roll. He goes to the drop. Beasley doesn't get around the screen perfectly. Prince is wide open on the pop. Middleton closes to take away that corner pass, but that leaves the driving lane open. Lopez recovers to the corner and has no interest in staying in the paint to help. Middleton never takes away that drive, so Beasley's left behind. The whole thing is just too easy to attack. So Prince makes the second. We are tied with 40 seconds left. I want to say that's the first time it's been tied since 0-0. Another tough Middleton jumper. If we run this back, Okay, the Bucks are adding a little wrinkle to get Giannis and Dame in the pick and roll together. It's a staggered screen. The best pass is probably to the corner, but that's a harder pass to make when you're small like Dame and when Anthony Davis is the guy in front of you. And then give Reeves credit. He's in great position on the closeout, completely stalls Chris's attack. And I don't love that shot with 11 seconds left on the shot clock. Going after Lillard there with a switch. And Malik Beasley comes over to make the play. Doc Rivers actually challenges this call, saying it was off D'Angelo Russell last. And the beauty of the watch-along is we can just jump ahead where the Bucks win the challenge, and they have 13 seconds left to draw up a game-winning play. And again, it's going to be Lillard. The problem is Anthony Davis switches onto him. Now this is not an easy shot to get. So you want to go to Giannis with the mismatch on Spencer Dinwiddie out on the perimeter, but Spencer Dinwiddie with a super high IQ foul. You see he instantly reaches and gives that foul because they have one to give, and he's not in the shooting motion on the outside. So that leaves us 3 seconds. We don't get a great look at it, but they ran a lob for Antetokounmpo, and basically, as you'll see on the replay here, it just looks like he flubs the layup. There's a little contact with Davis down on the body down below. Doesn't really look like much, though. The arm doesn't extend when he's in the air. I think Giannis just basically botches the lay. It's a great call. Great out-of-bounds play. That left the Lakers with 0.8 of a second. They get this action. So Austin Reeves almost with the highlight. But one thing here, there's 0.8 of a second left. 2 players go to Davis for Milwaukee because of that lob action we just saw. It's fresh in their head. And Reeves is wide open. So he could stop at the three-point line. But furthermore, it's a tie game. He doesn't need a three. He can actually just stop at the elbow at 18 feet. He can stop and take the closest comfortable shot. He doesn't have to go another 10 feet out to the logo there. It's a subtle little thing in a tie game. You want the highest percentage shot, not the shot that yields the most points in the long run. All right, so bonus basketball. 3-man game, screen and pitch to the corner. Chris Middleton got a good look. Giannis all over the glass. Unfriendly bounces. And you can see Russell, he wants to go at Lillard in the post. And that's a great rotation by Middleton and Giannis to create that steal and then the run out in transition. And interesting, Giannis didn't attack there, kicking it out to Malik Beasley for the three instead. And unless it was 2-0, I don't know if the Lakers have ever led in this game. It's one of those. Same play we saw earlier in the fourth quarter. Little guard-to-guard screen. Austin Reeves gets to the outside, and now in all this space, you swing it and you punish the guard for helping over toward D'Angelo Russell. Great job by Austin Reeves. Little floater before the help can come. Same play for Milwaukee that we just saw. And it's going to turn into another isolation clear out. They keep going after Austin Reeves. Finally, someone makes one of these jumpers. That's just a really tough shot. I think the Lakers defense lives with that. Furthermore, I think in the long run for Milwaukee, if you're getting these shots down the stretch of key games against good defenses, these are not winning shots. Rui just sneaks in there. Exact same play again. High pick and roll into the handoff for Middleton. Beautiful lob. This time Giannis got behind Anthony Davis. That's the shot you want from Milwaukee. Triple-double for the two-time MVP. Lakers go to pick and pop. And Davis with another three. Anthony Davis with his third huge three down the stretch of this game. That one was like a Plinko bounce in Price is Right. It hit all parts of the rim and then finally went in. This time the Bucks changed the play a little bit. The screen from Giannis, and then Lillard, instead of pitching it to Middleton, gets a screen from him, catches them off guard. Defense has to collapse, swing to an open Lopez. But again, is a 27-foot Brook Lopez shot? Oh, that's Spencer Dinwiddie's first three-pointer of the game. Well, I'll say this. The Lopez open three from 27 feet is probably higher percentage offense than this Spencer Dinwiddie shot, but sometimes big shot, big moment, you're feeling it. Ooh, so the Bucks got exactly what they wanted out of that action. This is the same setup that they've been using. Lillard gets a screen from Giannis. Middleton's there for a potential handoff, but what they're really looking for is this screen away from Malik Beasley. Beasley, that's his shot. Great look to tie the game. Just too strong. And you can start to see the fatigue setting in for the Lakers. They don't get into this possession until there's 12 seconds on the clock. And that's why the whole thing ends up just going nowhere.
Gotta go. He'll fire. Wants to pull up here for Lillard. Lillard behind the back, shadowed by Reeves.
Boy, tough shot from Lillard. And I think you have to look for Giannis there. He had a cross match with D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Davis down near the basket, and they get yet another one of these contested mid-range shots. Great tip out by Antetokounmpo. They're going to go back to this Davis-Reeves pick and roll. They get the switch. This time the skip pass comes, and Rui Hachimura. That's the power of the skip pass. They're putting Dame Lillard in the action. When he has to switch like that, Bobby Portis slides over to try to scram out Dame Lillard because big mismatch with Anthony Davis, and that opening is what Austin Reeves hits brilliantly to spring Rui on the drive. No one big is left. Remember, the Bucks also have a small lineup too. So you get Giannis at center. You get Anthony Davis at center. Bobby Portis is another big, but it's not the same thing as Brook Lopez, especially when the Lakers play Rui at the 4. Oh, good look from Beasley that time at the rim. Just could not finish it. And this is going to be 3 free throws for Damian Lillard on that little handoff action. I'm not sure there was any contact. Hard to see from that angle. But nonetheless, you put a great free throw shooter at the line in a big situation. And, of course, Dame makes all 3 to put Milwaukee back in front. And then Dinwiddie gets downhill and is another tough call with 32 seconds left. Like, whichever way this goes is huge. Ball goes off Middleton's foot. 15 to shoot. Reeves. And he got the same call back that just got the free throws on the other end. The little body action into him as he curled off the screen. Just a ton of symmetry in this game. He makes both. And now the Lakers a 1-point lead. High pick and roll. Davis switches. Davis, wow, blocks Lillard. And they swing it around, just a perfect look. And, of course, Damian Lillard. He of many, many big shots in NBA history. What a back-and-forth game. 14 seconds. So what we've seen is D'Angelo Russell or Austin Reeves in that pick and roll with Davis or in guard-guard action. This time it's Russell. They use Rui as the screener. They get a switch onto Jay Crowder. Another foul. It's an interesting idea, I think, to isolate Jay Crowder and attack him with Russell. And I don't think Crowder commits the foul. It's Chris Middleton on the reach across the arm. And it's 117 all. So the Bucks have 3 seconds. And if we go back to the end of the third quarter, you can see Anthony Davis is sort of exhausted coming back down the court. And that means Austin Reeves is stuck trying to box out Giannis. He gets an offensive rebound and puts it back at the buzzer. So the Bucks have already had a buzzer beater in this game. The Lakers had a similar thing on the last play of the first quarter with Davis back cutting Giannis, slipping in for that put-back dunk opportunity at the buzzer. So each team with buzzer beaters, all kinds of symmetry on fouls and craziness. That takes us to 3 seconds left, and this play, it's Lillard. And guess who? Anthony Davis again. He has just completely altered so many possessions down the stretch of this game. And this is the thing about the Lakers that is so strange as they sit in the play-in position this season. In big games against the best teams, really physical teams, Anthony Davis just has this gear to take away their best option. In this case, it's his matchup with Giannis and the pick and roll actions with Lillard, and specifically Lillard and Giannis, which is the pet play that the Bucks want to run. That time just a heroic block, more free basketball. And keep fatigue in the back of your head. We saw Davis lumbering earlier at points in the third quarter, earlier in the game. And he's played like all but 5 or 6 minutes of this game. Lakers using Rui as the screener again. This feels like a very deliberate change as Bobby Portis in instead of Jay Crowder. They get the switch. D'Lo's short. Again, I don't know if that's the greatest shot out of that, so credit Bobby Portis. And then Portis with the steal, but he misses the bunny, and it's yet another save block from Anthony Davis, who doesn't even look like he can run. This is like a vintage Anthony Davis performance. He is both injured and dominating. And then a poor pass, just a straight giveaway from Spencer Dinwiddie. It has not been his night. Oh, and a great look. And now I'm getting tired watching. The Lakers spamming this action where they keep attacking Bobby Portis. But they're only getting step-back threes out of it. Another chance. Dinwiddie goes right by Lillard. Misses the layup. And Lillard passes on a mid-ranger to get a better look, and it's another Beasley miss. And I always wonder about fatigue in these spots. There's been one whistle in double overtime, massive minutes. This is a really long stint for these players. Most of them have been out there forever. And what does that do to your three-point percentages in that moment? Is it really a 40% shot in the corner? I mean, they can't even get back. Nobody can guard anybody right now. They already have Portis in isolation here, so no need to screen. Giannis is low at the basket. Another step-back three. And that's part of fatigue, is settling. It doesn't, you don't have the muster, you don't have the energy to put it on the deck and drive by the guy in front of you. Now Giannis against Davis. They don't have to help. He gets a spin, and this is a foul. And this is a weird call because Davis hits him on the arm on the reach. That's the foul. And then Giannis, because he's stuck at the last second, changes his mind to pass. That's a little weird to me. Feels like it should be a shooting foul, but maybe a break for the Lakers. Maybe not because of Giannis' free throw shooting. Another open three for Beasley. And he's a great shooter. But maybe part of being a great shooter is you make them when you're exhausted. You make them when the stakes are really high. Oh, Lillard pick six. Multiple defensive issues and breakdowns for him in Milwaukee down the stretch of this game. But that was a huge play. But then no one is back. Look at the situation. No one's in the paint. Reeves gets a layup. And this is just part of the fatigue. If we run it back, almost no Bucks are inside the three-point line as Spencer Dinwiddie goes to drive. And then on the closeout, Lillard doesn't really seem to understand where Reeves is. None of the other three Bucks understand they need to help at the basket. And in the blink of an eye, we are tied. What a game. There's the two-man pick and roll. Beautiful finish by Giannis. He got behind AD that time. No size at the rim. That's what you want. And the same issue, the exact same issue the Bucks just have. Lillard, I mean, Dinwiddie goes by Lillard like he's a traffic cone. Probably should have made the layup. Bobby Portis there to save it and foul. The Bucks challenged this, by the way, to see if it was in the act of shooting. It was in the act of shooting indeed. So Dinwiddie makes both. We are tied again with a minute left. High pick and roll, two-man game. Giannis into Davis, and the length alters the shot. Russell with a huge block. And now Giannis going at Davis in the post and ISO. That's not going to work. Incredible performance by Anthony Davis. With other players, maybe outside of Bam, Giannis gets a great look in those situations. And Austin Reeves. I mean, we saw this down the stretch last year and in the playoffs. He loves big shots. Finally makes one of those. Oh, wow, this is Davis again. Look at this. Giannis sets the screen higher to throw off the defense, but Davis is out beyond the three-point line. He's ready for it, and then Lillard can't even get the shot off, and then he recovers on the relocate. Give Spencer Dinwiddie great credit for switching there. Picks up the cheap foul, but they were looking for that quick-hitting three off the pull-up, and Anthony Davis, it's just, he feels like he's everywhere in these games. It's games like this when people talk about cheat codes defensively. There's a huge offensive rebound from Giannis, but now he's at the line, and you've got this adventure. First one is no good. Reggie Miller on the broadcast talking about how Giannis's miss can come in any direction. It's so cold because he's like still a 60-something% free throw shooter, but you're just expecting him to clank it in every different direction. Two huge misses, and with 22 seconds, the Bucks basically have to foul. They're looking for the steal first. They foul D'Angelo Russell. He's too good of a free throw shooter. He makes the free throws, and that basically puts this game on ice. An incredible performance. On the Lakers side, Reeves, 29 points, 14 boards, 10 assists. Malik Beasley hits a three to cut it to 2, but the Bucks need a steal on the inbounds. They don't get it. AD missed a ton of shots, 3 for 8 from downtown, 12 for 31 from the floor, especially in the first half. He had a couple grenades, but finishes with 34 points, 23 rebounds, 4 blocks. Just incredible defense down the end of the game there. Giannis with 29 points, 21 rebounds, 11 assists, 3 blocks, 2 steals, but he had 7 turnovers, and a ton of them were against Anthony Davis, and especially down the stretch of this game, between fatigue and AD, just was not able to impart his will as you want from your superstar offensive player like that. Just 1 for 6 from the free throw line. Hope you enjoyed this one. It was wild. It was crazy. Thanks as always for watching all the way. And of course, I hope you are having a great day.